89.9 in Brikama Town. For all the businessmen and women, move out of the darkness, follow the light. Come sell your business with us today. Home Digital FM, let your customers know what you're offering. Be on top of your competitors. Home Digital FM, we will help you stand out. Come advertise with us today for all your businesses. We offer live program coverage both on Facebook Live and on the radio. Exos to sell your products and services. The media is in control. Tell your customers when, where, and how to meet you through Home Digital FM. Don't worry. Do your business. We will sell you out. Call us today on 734-3125 or 200-5770 620-1413 766-8394. Home Digital FM. Follow the light.
Of buying of votes in Banjul and other areas, inducing and trying to buy candidates to withdraw from the elections, and also the rejection of our replacement for Nyanija and other matters relating to this local government election. My name is Tombong Sedi. I am the Admin Secretary for Media and Communication. And to my right, we have Honorable Amadou Sane, who is the Treasurer of the party and Executive Member. And we have our Deputy Party Leader here, Ajiyam Seka, and Almame, who is the spokesperson and also Admin Secretary for Human Rights, Legal and Human Rights. We also have Modu Sar, who is our election expert from Banjul, Central Committee member. We have our MP of Fajikunda, Honorable Yaya Menteng Sanyang. You are Alaji also. Honorable Alaji. Yaya Menteng Sanyang. We have here Honorable Yankuba Dabo, who is also our chairman candidate for Brikama Area Council. We have Honorable Musa Baji of Talinding. So we welcome all of you. And yeah, we have an executive member over there, Honorable Lamin K. Jame. And I will ask our spokesman to give a short statement before we allow Modusa to explain the issue that happened in Banjul. And I'm sure the same issues is happening all over the country, but it's the Banjul one that has been caught red-handed. Thank you.
Mr. Sedi, the Admin Secretary for Media and Communication. I will start my intervention with thanks and praises to Allah and to greet all of you in the holy month of Ramadan. We are in the last 10 days. And we hope that our worship, our prayers, our sadaqas, and all the du'as will be translated into worthy deeds in the eyes of Allah. May it please Allah. I call on the Deputy Party Leader to also greet the gathering, because this is a force of its kind of a press conference. I'm sure all of you are wondering where the party leader, the Secretary General, is. He is right inside with us here, but as is his tradition, he says that the new generation of leaders of the UDP must be exposed, must be seen, must be heard to engage with the issues. And before going into all the things he has said, I will just allow the Deputy Party Leader, Aji Mariam Babukar Seka, to give a word of welcome, and then we can proceed with the press conference.
Good afternoon to all of you. My role is very simple here, to welcome all of you here present on behalf of the party leader who is right in his office. As the spokesperson have just said, this is a press conference with a difference, not the usual press conference we used to have. The topic have already been told, and some of us will elaborate into those topics. The topics that is going to be discussed here is the topic of the day. We all know the problems about these local government elections. Buying cards, rejecting people, and so on. So the media houses, you are highly welcome. You are free to ask any questions of your choice. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Deputy Party Leader. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, it is often said that elections are won or lost a few days or a few weeks before the election day. Elections are never won or lost on election day itself. The UDP has been fighting elections for the last 25 years or so. And all our elections, we have tried to comply fully with all the laws of the land, with all the laws in respect of electioneering. What we have seen since 2016 is the continuous erosion of the rule of law where elections are concerned. But before that, I would like to remind all of you that tomorrow will mark 7 years when Solo Sandeng last saw the light of day. 7 years when Solo Sandeng's family last saw him. 7 years when he took out the banner at Westfield and said to Gambians, we have to fight for constitutional and electoral reforms. 7 years on, there has not been any significant electoral reforms. What we have seen is voter inducement and several voter malpractices, election malpractices. This coming local government elections on Saturday is 2 days away. So it's very important for all Gambians to note, one, that there are no foreign or international observers this time around. In 2021, the country was besieged with foreign correspondents, foreign development partners. To some extent, the last parliamentary elections, we had a similar number of observers. This time around is local government elections. It is localities, no matter how small, no matter how far away, people will elect their leaders. We have been on a campaign nationwide. Chairman Yankuba Dabo, our chairman, UDP's chairman, of course the elections are not until May, has been crisscrossing West Coast region. And West Coast region is one of the biggest and one of the most important electoral regions of the Gambia, because it has close to 40% of the votes total. And they are also neighbors with our brothers and sisters in the south of Senegal. So we are taking this opportunity to bring the leaders themselves to interact with the media, to establish, as a matter of fact, the things that are going on in the different localities. My elder brother, Tombong Sedi, will talk about some of the developments in the Salum area. And Motsar, our doyen in terms of our relationship with the IEC, he sits in the inter-party committee with Her Excellency, the Deputy Party Leader. And he is representing Banjul What is going on in Banjul, I think we are all aware of it. And at this juncture, I would like to really pay tribute to Honorable Fatoumata Njie Tuma for her solidarity and for her citizen activism to ensure that no electoral malpractices happen in her constituency. We have also had her audios expressing solidarity with the 3 councillor candidates that are standing in Banjul South, that she is supporting them because one of them is a lady and they are standing under the banner of UDP. But we have always tried to make our politics a politics of performance. I think the whole of this country have seen the performance of UDP in local government. The former president of Senegal used to say this, Gis Wedi Bokuchi. In Banjul, in KMC, in URR, in LRR, the work of our government, local government leaders is visible for everyone to see. And we would urge Gambians to judge all of them on their performance. And the aspiring candidates, we all know their history, we all know their pedigree, we all know their commitment to serving this country. We are in the politics of service to our nation, and we want to make sure that everything we do, as the party leader has always enjoined us, we do it under the rule of law. Whatever the laws of this country say, it is what we are all going to be bound by in the final analysis. So on this brief introductory note, I will now invite Alhaji Motsar to talk about the most burning issue in Banjul and what has been done from the point of view of the UDP and other interested Gambian citizens.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tal, for that brief introduction. Executive members and members of the press, I greet you all with these blessed words, Assalamu alaikum. We all know why we are here today, because some of the speakers alluded to that this is going to be a special press conference. Yes, it's a special press conference. Taking my very self as an example, since the inception of the United Democratic Party, I think this is the first time for me to face the media publicly since the inception of the United Democratic Party on the 23rd of August 1996. So therefore, definitely saying that it's a special conference, yes, it's a special press conference. Without wasting much time, as I was coming from the IEC regional office in Kanifing, going towards Banjul, I had a call. Someone called me and informed me that, have you heard what is happening in Banjul? I said, no, I'm not even in Banjul. He said that, well, if you are not in Banjul, try to be in Banjul, drive directly to the police station, because there is something happening there. I said, but what is happening? The individual told me, I have to conceal his name. The individual told me that voter buying by one gentleman, and he was caught by the National Assembly member for Banjul South. And in fact, it was within her constituency that happened. So on my arrival at the police station, I met some surrogates of the NPP, but I never gave heed to what they are saying or what they are doing. I went directly into the police station. That was the time I questioned the police officers who were there on duty, that as the main stakeholder of the political spectrum of this country, I would be very interested to know what transpired here. That was the time the police officer told me, well, it has already been taken care of. I say, how was it taken care of? Well, they feel reluctant to answer to my, well, I said, okay, tomorrow morning I will come back. Then the following morning, I went to the station and asked for the commissioner responsible of Banjul area, and I was told that she stepped out. I said, is the deputy here? They said yes. That was the time that I went directly to the deputy and explained what I've just explained, and explained everything to the deputy as to what has transpired. The deputy told me, okay, wait. That was the time he called the station officer. When the station officer came in, he asked him whether he knew what transpired here yesterday in the evening. Well, he said yes. And what did you do about it? Well, he said that, I just told them that it's a civil matter. That was the time I cannot control my temperament. I told him, look, you cannot even distinguish what is civil and what is not civil. This is purely electoral fraud and inducement. Number one, the boy should not have been released. Two, he should have been accompanied with a police officer to search his house thoroughly, because we don't even know that the two voters cards that they explained that these are the two voters cards that he brought in. We don't even know. It could be more than two. That was the time the commissioner told him that, look, this is exactly what you should have done. But notwithstanding, he is here on a purpose. And what is your purpose? I say, well, we'll take the matter to a higher height. But whatever the case may be, I want you to give me the diary reference number, which he did. The diary reference number is here with me right away. But the commissioner further told me that, well, as you know, we have a commissioner who is representing us at the IEC. We'll forward the matter to that commissioner. Then I will later get back to you. Since then, that was from day before yesterday to yesterday, they didn't get back to me. Today, they didn't get to me. So what I am waiting for is tomorrow to go back to the police to try and find out how far they have gone with this case before going to the IEC, because the matter was reported to the police. So this is the situation. Thank you.
Good afternoon to the members of the press, and then afternoon to the executive members. We have the high table here. Now, I just want to talk, just to buttress what they are saying. This voter buy-in thing of inducement that people are alleging, it's not only allegation now. Evidence has now been provided to the police, as Mozart narrated in the Banjul case. We're hearing a lot of these stories or narratives from people all across West Coast. It is happening there now. And the unfortunate thing is this, the police are not doing anything about it. And that is quite, I would say, serious, because they need to be seen actively doing something to deter people from being engaged in this, because this is fraud, period. It's a voter fraud. It goes to undermine the credibility of our electoral system completely. And unfortunately, the Independent Electoral Commission, who are supposed to take a lead in this, are also not taking serious action. And they're not, because we expect them to come with a press release, a stern warning, advising all parties to desist from such actions. But they are not doing that. And I want to just say a few words about the rejection of our candidate in chairman, that is Musa Cham's nomination. We have to be clear about this.
That's the appeal that was sent to IEC.
Okay, so we have the...
Already the reason has been made that the person is going to close. So obviously they are not.
So they, exactly. So now we want the public, and both internationally, Gambians anywhere, and any international body that has interest in Gambia's democracy to understand what is happening in this country. For example, a candidate who by law under section 51 of the 51(4) of the Elections Act of 1996 It says if a candidate supported by a political party, this is I'm going to read it verbatimly so that people can benefit from it, understand it clearly. It says, where the candidate withdrawing his candidature had registered his nomination under a political party, that political party may within 7 days from the date of the withdrawal field another candidate. Clearly, the law gives us discretion to field in a candidate 7 days from the date of the withdrawal of the candidate that is withdrawing. What this law is clearly saying is, it's trying to prevent a situation where one party, say for example the incumbent, is trying to abuse power by inducing candidates to withdraw or to induce opposition candidates to withdraw so that their candidates can go unopposed. We understand this. We realize that this is what is at play and decided to fill in a candidate in exercise of this section. Now, the rejection of the IEC, I will read it to you. They rejected the nomination of our candidate relying on section 52, and that is what they quoted in their letter. But what is the law saying under section 52 of the same act, that is the Election Act 1996? That law is very clear. It says a returning officer, this is talking about publication of the particulars of a candidate. So this one is not even talking about rejection of nomination or anything of that sort. This is talking about publishing a candidate who is already nominated. So what you do at this instance is where the candidate is nominated, you publish the candidate's details for the public to become aware that that person is nominated. The IEC relied on that section to say that, because I think this is the phrase they didn't understand, but let me read what that section said so that for the benefit of everyone, so that we can all understand what the law is saying and why they were wrong to rely on that section to reject our candidate in this instance. It says publication of particulars of candidates. A returning officer shall, as soon as may be practicable after the close of nominations, but at least 7 clear days before the date of election. That is the phrase I believe they misunderstood, and that's what they rely on. Because the next phrase, it went on, it says, or, because now it's given an alternative, where 7 days is there, or, and this instance is now saying, if the election is to be held over a period of days. And what we have in this case was that our candidate went there on Tuesday, election was going to be conducted within a matter of days, on Saturday. It says, if it's going to be, if election is to be held over a period of days before the first day of that period, publish. The law is now telling them publish the names and addresses of all candidates deemed to be nominated, names and addresses of all persons nominating candidates, and representative symbols approve of each candidate. So how can anybody reasonably justify that this section gives them authority or discretion to reject the right that a person or a candidate is exercising under Section 51? Now, we want every one of you, because this is the role of the media. It's not only political parties that need to be proactive in strengthening the democracy of this country. You people, as the media personnel, need to bring IEC to task. They need to explain this to the Gambian people. How can they justifiably, reasonably justify rejection of a political candidate, a candidate aspiring to stand for his people, giving his people a choice in a democratic process in this country? But the IEC is now acting with impunity, trying to behave like they are beyond reproach or beyond the confines of the laws of this land, because this is blatant disregard of the law. You cannot look at Section 51, and this is an institution that is being advised by well-respected lawyers in this country. What are those lawyers doing? The United Democratic Party is not letting this go like this. We're going to challenge this to the courts, but we want every Gambian to know what is at play here. The whole of our democratic gains that we have made from 2016 to now is all being eroded. We have seen a government, a sitting government, that wants to portray to the world that they are conducting free and fair elections. Where is the fairness in this? Where is the fairness when the state is using state apparatus? You know what they're doing in West Coast? For example, the other day they had a meeting in Faraba, Combo East. We have clear evidence. We even have video evidence of that, where they called the alcalos of the whole of that district, trying to, I wouldn't say induce, but I think they were trying to compel them, coerce them, force them into prevailing on their people to vote for MPP candidates. Where is the fairness? How can anybody regard such a system as fair? And this is a government that everybody struggles so hard in order to put in place so that we can have better democracy in this country. Our democracy can be strengthened. We can have progress. We can be represented by people that we ourselves, as the people of this country, chooses, and not imposed on us by the president or by the executive body of the government. So I want every Gambian to understand this. This is not just the battle of the political parties. It is the battle of every one of us as citizens of this country, especially the media. You've got to now drum this message out there so that it gets to every Gambian and anybody who is concerned about democracy in this country. Because our democracy is now being discredited, it's being impugned, it's been tainted, it's been undermined by the very establishment that is supposed to be strengthening it, because they're the ones benefiting it more than anyone else. If anyone is benefiting from this democracy, it is Barrow and MPP. Because they're the ones holding positions that which they acquired or gained from a democratic process, they claim. None of us are, but we are playing our part, as Almami said. We are operating within the confines of the law, but they are not. And I want every voter, Gambian voters, to understand that your vote matters. Don't sell it to anybody. And if anyone approaches you as they done it in Banjul, go to the police. We have to keep pressure on the police. And everyone, I want the IGP to understand this. You either do the job that you've taken an oath or sworn to do, or you leave the job. But you cannot be the Inspector General of the police and you are allowing these things to carry on in this country. Tomorrow we will hold you responsible for it. I'm sending similar advice to the chairman of the IEC. You are there for a reason, and there is a reason why we call it Independent Electoral Commission. We didn't have Independent Electoral Commission before. It used to be conducted under the local government, and everybody was saying that that is not fair, because you have a state that people are opposing and that state is conducting elections. Now we are having independent. Where is the independency when the state is able to do everything that they want, but the opposition cannot do anything? I thank you all for that.
Okay. Thank you very much, the moderator, Mr. Almami Fandintal. I thank the entire executive members who are here for UDP. I also thank the ladies and gentlemen of the press for coming. I will reinforce the same apology extended to you by Mr. Tombong. We are sorry to delay you Some of you are here. I learned till 1 hour before the commencement. We are very sorry about that. It was circumstances beyond our control. Well, I don't think I'm going to say anything new that has not been said by the previous speakers. I just want to tell the IEC to at least be capable of shame. Because for me, if you ask me, this is so disturbing. But NPP know what they are doing. If you go on house to house, you realize that I've never seen an instance where Gambians galvanize themselves into such a powerful political force and hatred against a political entity like the NPP. So they know this very well. They have done their findings and they have done their analysis, and they know they are going to lose this election outright. We are going to give them a knockout blow. Now, the strategy they are using or employing in places, especially in the remote part of this country, is to induce, entice, and encourage people to vote for them by giving them incentives. And as earlier indicated by Mr. Dabo, this is the responsibility of the civil society organization and you, the media. You see, UDP as a political organization will do their part. That's why we call for this press conference. And we are going to do this on and on and on and on. But the responsibility of the civil society organization and the responsibility of the media is to expose this. Expose this in the severe of all terms. Gambians need to know this. Talk to our brothers and sisters that they have to refuse with an attitude as far as NPP inducement approaches are concerned. Because we cannot, as earlier on said, we cannot play with the democratic gain we have achieved since 2016. And this is responsibility of everybody. So they have appealed to the media and the civil society organization not to leave this to the UDP as a political organization. This is the business of everybody as far as you live in this country. So therefore the message should go outright. For me in KMC, it is relatively low because we are very conscious of what is happening around us. Yesterday, I think I slept like 4 a.m. And today also we are going to do the same thing. This is what we do during the National Assembly election. We make sure that we deploy people in every part of the constituency. So I will therefore appeal to other National Assembly members and other political actors for UDP in such constituencies. Today and tomorrow and day after tomorrow, let's not sleep. Let's make sure we go after them. I'm not encouraging fight. Just make sure we have evidences. UDP is a law-abiding political organization. We go to the courts and can get redress. But as of now, we should all be on extremely high alert. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Party Leader and the NEC members here present and the Fourth Estate. I am indeed alarmed and concerned as a citizen and as a representative of the people to hear what has been disclosed here with regards to electoral malpractice. And I believe every Gambian should be equally concerned and alarmed because electoral malpractice has many effects. And we elect people who are supposed to respond to the needs and aspirations of our people. What electoral malpractice can do, the effects it can do, is to allow incompetent people to come and hold office. Because if we are buying votes, it means those that can serve us better, who don't have the means to buy a vote or who want to abide by the rules of the law will not buy votes. At the end of the day, the wrong people will be in our offices, and the democratic dividend will be betrayed. My message is not to repeat what others have said. My message is to Gambians. We must all condemn these electoral malpractices for our own sake and for the development of this country. The other side of it is it engenders corruption because they are using funds to buy these votes. Where are they getting the funds from? From our taxes. My money, your money, everyone's money. They are using that to buy $500, $1,000 that cannot serve you more than one day. At the end, they bring people who cannot serve you better, who cannot give you any service, who don't have ideas. So for Gambians who want development, we should reject this. I know the election is just 2 days away, like Mr. Almametal has said. Any effects of legal recourse, the time is not there. But what we can do is the media, as the fourth estate, is anything to go by, is to educate citizens with regards to what is happening currently. And we expect anything that has been said here will be filtered down to the four corners of this country as soon as possible, so that Gambians know that we cannot be killing ourselves, because this is the best time we have to select good representation, to select people who can deliver, to select people who can render good services to our people. If we miss that opportunity, we are going to continue to be in abject poverty for the next 4 years. Now, Gambians have that opportunity now to select good leadership. We have that opportunity now to select people who are going to render good services. Let's not squander that opportunity for a mere fact of $500 or $1,000. And like the other speakers have said, we have seen in the newfound democracy trends that we are unimaginable if the newfound democracy is supposed to be a reality. And then they said dictators are not born, they are made. And we've seen the trajectory, the way it is going. If we are not careful, we are creating our own self another dictator. So Gambians should be very careful and mindful of some of these malpractices and ensure that our vote is our voice, is our right, is our power. We ensure we select the right people to have good representation. And like Almame have said, UDP has set the pace. We've seen how the people we have given you across the country, how they have delivered in their local councils. Any person who wants to provide another option must come with good alternatives, good ideas for development, not to induce us to sell our votes and render ourselves into abject poverty again for another 4 years. This message must be spread to all Gambians to understand that the vote we sell is our life, and if you auction it, the poverty that comes after 20 years after now, you will be accountable for it. We are all responsible for what future we beget to our future generation. So it starts now. So I am alarmed and concerned, and I equally know every Gambian should be alarmed, because this is something that's going to undermine the development of this country, and we condemn it in the most strongest term. We condemn it in the most strongest term, and if the government thinks they are delivering, this is not the option. They should sell themselves in the best manner and abide by the rules and regulations like the UDP and other parties are doing. Thank you very much.
Ngal kontong preke altonal kontong la na deputy party leader nga kontong bake yalam fondingelo na yamna ali energy soto nyulde algal fonne ne nyulle energy le siata ntolla energy bidu malang almame malonteni yankuba dawo membe kala very best mandinka speaker ti bare mbenna kata ko ke bala ko almame ya fo nyame ngani press conference commandle ka itandi gambianol la anin gambianol silalu anin gambia carte faylalu NPP nyimpati sonjao nyimpati kurungo nyimpati yome alonko gambia la nyatota imantarawoto bari tolbe ifang nyaton tanle nyami be wolto biri ya discover ko gambianol ye kodi lale gambianol metol la interest soto kodake ya je ko ni local government election men kana dunga kon council le mayol mbe butela je butero mayor ko abe jawyala sai sita koy kaka nyamendo ko be menekal gambianol la sai bari biri foire ya nak diw mol kan ikoko wala ngata kodo dila ninga kodo dila drong mbe la carte wol sotole honorable Tuma Njai nata ke moti me alon ko a vigilante ala constituency kan fo anata nyim mol muta be carte sangola je ay samba police bidum comme police la tilimbale ya UDP la police la tilimbale ya Gambia la e manna action taje e ko drong wolio remove la wolio murindi mari wol kan birin yin tar police wala nyanta menkala drong ya mari muta ya detain ya body confine ina beta fo ala bunkono yenyu boni je because ndol malong ay carte card sabador ne bondi bor carte gelle be bulu anun the extent of the scheme fo ata drone ne ba kam fani modol la ba kan police nyanta investigation yella yalong nyen ke mina kama jumala ya bulala mo jelle ba kan atabe ben kan ani yem mo jelle voters card ta police nyanta ñine establish la yo fo gambian carte falial bar gambian police mbe yamar la anu mbe wonna ko ntol ten energy ni na fero ni na parti la stock to du nakku kono e to ka fa be tulun nawal ntol to accept la moy atol ntol be mu ñu banko dingol leti ay police mo gambe dingol leti so sa hakil tu bake ni nga kudi la me yalon ko yenta ya investigate ka investigate for UDP ka investigate for Gambia bele kew so police o se hakil tu woto an Gambia non franco diam la ya fo nyame atol news atol kibaru janjan lalu ani civil society organisation men kam wala nyantol kele anyemu ntol be la kele de ñinda ke no la UDP la keloti as a political organization Gambia no bele nyanti fangila ngin kelo kon ko rebul baji ya fo jay kuma kende balfo carte sunya carte sango alla balu akawlo retard alla balu ñiñim alla balu ñañimma abe o retard la indi future so mu kulete wata na ko mobile ñanta tal against that atol national assembly member political organization or civil society organization kibar jangen nalu mbe nga kata nga tande gambe no ko NPP parti kuru ñadi leti mais alon ko imang interest al development na bari tol be fan develop la ñame bari ya jelo ko gambe no buka gambians are not excited again when we mention NPP ni dum de bon ko ye NPP mention nobody is excited. Nobody want to know NPP and they know that Mengbe reflect election on Membina. That is why they have released millions. They have a candidate or there is really chemistry each candidate la o tilmale fa njibe ba nga ñu fa mo lan kana sila ndol national assembly election ye 500,000 the candidate or lale ndol party less than 20,000 but we still won anu mbadingol Membe provinces e ka tulu wolle hakilo la nal sondo molo e ke lañen ku kunta woni lañen ko do men ko mon soto senia ko e ka sambe e ka dia to ndol mo be jambe bo province ala nga mol call nkana na nyato sang o mun tol bele responsibility inshallah ko nga fu nyame mbadi honorable dabola atele I'm so he's a better mandinka speaker than I am then I falense
mbadi ngolu lamir lalu aning man anim mandinka kam moy lalu lafta min kafla honorable yaya min adje ko min nyimu somarilde min fota jang ka foni mandinka kan la komi ya fo nyamin election lo be kere and election do ngata kumata bake bayri me molle tammen ni kam min yalon ko wolle nyanta marla na fankola nin na nyato ta so wo molu wo kumata bake bari luway min saratinde wala nyin election o nyanta tamana nin tilingol la momo ila hakumu min diyadila bari ngam minje Mengbe Kering wala nyin ko president Barrow anala MPP ibe min tamande nga wala nyin dolle be sembola sembo ben tolle ben bulu min diata nyembe wala kela and independent electoral commission mi yalon ko aliou mamadou ndiaye la nyaton kaya luwa e sembo di tolle le pour tol wo tilingo patiol tema iye wo tilingo tamande ngejele tol fana mampare ka wo tilingo nyin tamande lafta mim fo la gambiano le ko min fo ja wala nyin ko ñi manke opposition party kelen na keloti amanka mo kelen na keloti mbele la kelo mu nyinti andung kelo nyin ka keno nyamin aliou mamadou ndiaye amam bonang malay konteng alama jendinan IGP of police malay konteng alama jendinan alla molemu alla badingolemu sama sinin ni molba konte bola abatol le affect la ni kudo ke tatol le beta borla le tanina wo namnal fala je wolum nyintu ko nin telefono be na tema commande ya fa moro tilingo tamande inin ala tema samani fata molle be tarra nyim banko kam minu be shede ala wolle binale ya foko nyinyon ke ba jankere mo man si anna election o kata janna sunyam bulu den kilol be lakan about him so ni badem mate ni wobe dimela sama woto wuli biye tonya wulen fo aliou mamadou ndiaye ya fay ko tilingo tamande banko kan the same thing with the IGP of police bayri nyin ko bebe tamakan police la nyaton ko la nim police lo la wonyanta sénégal police man jina santo imanke malaikati ala me bonni nan blado de albadungol leti bota kordalle kono e kata do ko le ka seyna kordalle kono ye kalole ke ala ni